Episode 16 of the Utility Players Podcast. What is going on, boys?
Hello,
people.
This is about to be a fun episode. Gravy and Ben were out drinking. They just got back, so we're doing this podcast, recording it a little later in the night
glare off my nose is
than we
ridiculous.
usually do. So it's gonna be a fun one.
Happy birthday, Jess.
Happy birthday,
Jess.
Yeah.
Lead off.
Happy birthday, Jeff.
I did say that was no
Jess.
Jeff, you fucking idiot.
Ooh.
Yeah. Jess. Jeff.
Oh, Jess.
Yes.
Jeff is a funny name if you ever think about it.
Shout out
actually.
to Jeff. He just installed that home security in my house.
Vivian. Yeah. Shout out Jeff. Hey,
Shout
Vivian,
out
where's the ad money?
Yeah.
You know?
Plug.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
we need to
introduced
get
himself. He's
some
like, "Hi, my name's Jeff," and I immediately started laughing. I was like, "Hey, my name's Jeff."
Hey, Jeff is a good name. Jeff would be a great if you had a frog. Jeff would be a great name for a frog. You know?
That's a solid. Yeah, that's a solid. Like
Or
George,
Gary.
Henry, like one of those like bland names. No offense if you guys got a name out there that are listening. But.
Well, no, dude. If I was a
Not your
Jeff,
fault.
I'd embrace it.
Wait, speaking of names, do you guys ever give out like fake names when you're out and about, or do you always?
Ben does that religiously.
Yeah.
Who does
He's
Ben
actually
become?
pretty fucking good at it.
Yeah.
Who does Ben?
I don't give
become?
out fake. I don't think I give out fake names to myself, but to other people, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Just
Yeah.
oh my god, constantly. And I always, I am good at it. I give the
He
perfect
is.
names for people.
Yeah, there'll just be a guy in like a Ford F-150, and he'd be like, "All right, Chad, like you want to use your fucking blinkers?" And guy, you pull up, the guy that might be a Chad.
Guarantee it. Check the license. Pull them over.
Chad
Jeff, though, you know what I don't like about the Jeff name or names like this is if you're gonna have a name like that, Jeff, because you've seen Jeff J-A-E. No, wait, J-A-E. Wait, what the fuck? Man, how dumb am I? Wait,
J-E-F-F.
J-E-F-F, and then you have G.
G-off.
G-O-F-F,
G-E-O-F-F,
like G-off from our
Yeah,
softball
G
team.
off. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, that shit confuses me. I don't like it.
Ben wouldn't
I'm
pass
sorry.
a
No, hey,
breathalyzer
no
right now.
disrespect to
He's proving it.
G-off or Jeff. I love both of you. I love all the G-offs and Jeff. I'm a love
G-offs.
promoter.
Oh my god.
All I do is promote love. No hate in my world. But it's a weird fucking thing. You know?
And speaking of Jeff, who is from our softball team, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm on a fucking tear at the plate right now. Okay,
I took
Yes,
the
sir.
over on homers.
Swinging
right,
that
you
long
should've.
stick.
True.
that long stick. All right, my streak did end 4 games in a row with a home run over the fence. That snapped last night.
I got my first fun.
Yep, Ben hit his first of the season.
Boom.
I was
I've
on
never
third
hit one
base,
before.
and I might have hit the walk off. Might have.
Nice, man.
Yep. you
Be
did.
humble. Yeah. Stay a little humble. Save the end for like, I might have hit one. I don't
But
know.
I did tweet it
A
today.
little humble. No.
Yeah,
Let me tell you
I
what he
did.
said before he went out to plate. No, shut up.
Yeah.
What he said before he went out to plate was he looked at me directly in my eyes, in my fucking soul,
In
and
your
said-
Oculus.
in my eye. Oh, that's Oculus Jake. Wait
Yeah,
a minute.
we
You
actually
know
have a
about
guy on our
Oculus
team.
Jake?
He wears a mask.
Yeah, we call him Oculus Jake.
Dude.
He looked at me straight in my eyes and said, "I'm built for this," and then walked up to the plate and hit that blooper right over first base. Game winner.
He
Yeah.
called it a
Game
shot.
time, baby.
Yep.
Tried to push it to right field, got a little under it, but hey, did the job.
Yep.
Eating hot dogs and slamming beers in the
I actually
in the
didn't
dugout
stretch
like
before the
Babe.
game. I didn't stretch before the game. I had a beer and a bag of popcorn.
You told your body, don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna hit the long ball. I'm not gonna need you today, body. I
Let
got
Will
us.
trot to
No.
first base.
Because then I went and played left center for 14 innings.
14.
Yeah, you guys are wilding
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that.
we played
doubleheader
doubleheaders.
shit.
2 game.
Oh hell!
Doubleheaders.
I don't know if I
Uh,
can keep up with that no more.
Breaking news to the softball world: Summer League ball. I'm going down to one night. So
Oh, what? Yeah, I have to
Yeah.
actually. I want to talk scheduling off air, but let's.
Yeah.
That was a solid intro. I appreciate you guys for being a little lit tonight. Energy's high, so let's keep it up for the next
Really just-
hour.
just
Pause. That's
hilarious.
what she said. All that. Let's jump right into the NBA playoffs. Let's do a little review.
Yeah, let's jump
We
into it.
just had, obviously, we're recording this on Tuesday night. We just had the Indiana Pacers from start to finish take care of the Charlotte Hornets.
Well, they won by like
without-
70.
Yeah, basically without
Something
Karis
like that.
LeVert. And now we got the Wizards playing the Celtics. Celtics up 4 as we speak. So let's go into a little preview about the playoff tourney. We'll lead off then. Let's kind of go into the playoff tourney. Do you guys like it? Do you hate it? Obviously it's good for money-wise for the NBA long-term. So,
I said it last episode. I'll say it again. My team's the 4th seed. We don't really we don't really concern ourselves with these peasants down there, 7 through 10.
Yeah.
I have, we got home court advantage. Hey, we're hosting it at the Garden, baby. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
you know what? I don't care who it is.
You're not in the play-in tournament, and to the play-in tournament, on paper, I hate it. Right.
Okay.
So on paper and without even doing anything, seeing how it's supposed to work, I don't like it. But I kind of want to watch it, see how it works out, and then understand kind of how I feel. So I don't want to commit to anything yet, but on paper, I don't like it. And I think that's probably just because it's one of those gut reactions to anything in the sports world that changes that we're not used to. And it's not the way it used to be. And we're like, hey, don't like this. That's not the norm. It's not our comfort zone, So I don't like it, but what happens if the Warriors beat the Lakers tomorrow? And then the Lakers will go play
Spurs.
who? The Spurs or the winner of that game, Spurs Grizzlies, I think, right? I can't remember.
Yeah, Spurs Grizzlies.
I mean, this was all LeBron's idea too.
Right. I know. I do love those comparisons when he's like, hey, this would be great. And then he's like, nah, I don't like this.
Hey,
Oh, that's hilarious. I didn't know.
I listened to the Woj and Zach Lowe. They did a podcast about the playoffs and kind of talked about that. And I love when Woj talks about these insider things because he always talks sources. So he knows the kind of the business aspect and the players aspect, but this is not going away. This is something that they wanted to implement for a while. Woj said that the play-in thing is here to stay. It got implemented last year in the bubble. From a business-wise, it gives more revenue for teams. It gives. They brought up a topic. What I brought up last week was Westbrook went in on those last 5 to 10 games to get into the play-in because he's not gonna. He's not here to be in a top 10 lottery pick as a team. So he wanted to play for keeps. And that's what you get. You get high level competition in the last 5 games of the season, which is great for everyone. Everybody wins, but they talk about, Woj also talked about how there's going to be a in-season tournament. They're doing it for revenue. I agree with you, Ben. I'm one of those purists that tradition, I don't like it at first, but then I look at the business and I look at how sports change every decade. This is something Woj said, the normal standard 82 game season and playoffs, eight in the West, 8 in the East is not gonna be anymore. That's gone and forgotten. There's a lot of money out there to be with these playoff games. There's a lot more teams involved and a lot more competition. And the NBA's unafraid. They've been showing that they're unafraid to take risks. And I personally love it, but I agree with you. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna be, but I like how it's going.
Think about it this way. You have 2 basketball worlds. You have the pro and college game, right? In the pro game, you're going to have these playoff series that are going to go 5, 7 games than we're used to. And then the college level with the NCAA tournament gives you a different excitement level because you have that tournament where it's one and done. And so this is kind of, to me, mixing both of those fan environments to have that little play-in tournament. I think it gives more meaning to maybe trying not to end up in one of those bottom seeds, especially if this year we see somebody like the Lakers get beat tomorrow and then get beat again and don't even make the playoffs. I think it'll give some more emphasis on there to not try to land in that 7 spot. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I think it takes away from the load management a little bit too as well. Not so many players will be resting because they don't want to end up in that 7th or 8th spot to try and get there.
Yeah.
So, I could see, I like it. And a little side note, how you were saying about Westbrook, he's been to the playoffs every year of his career except his rookie season, and they still won 46 games that year. So dude is a winner. I hope they get in. I hope they get there because I mean, they're fun to watch. Him and Beal.
So and if these players play, they'd be the 8th seed.
So they'd probably play the Sixers.
If these players continue to, because the biggest complaint is about injuries, which are unpredictable overall, but they might extend the season. Instead of starting maybe around end of October, they might start beginning of October and try to get in more days off for these guys. So longer season, they're going to give more days off. The NFL doesn't believe in that. Obviously, they added a week and, keep on going. Safety.
Yeah. So who do we think wins tomorrow? Warriors, Lakers.
Let's take a pick. Let's go.
I'm taking the Lakers.
I'm taking the Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
After listening to a podcast today, a 1-game game 7, you could call it a game 7 because it is 1 game. You got to take LeBron every single time. You have to. It's like Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. You're better off taking him because 70% of the time you're gonna win. Same thing with LeBron. Your money is in good hands
all the time.
Yeah, Curry's been going nuts, but I mean,
that's all he got.
Yeah, and he's been doing it for a few weeks now. There comes a time where you run out of steam, and unfortunately he has no help on that.
Let him get his 40. Let him get his 40.
Hey, you know how he's getting those 40, right?
Everywhere.
Back threes.
No, he's getting them because Draymond Green's sending them Kwame Brown screens. That's why.
Ooh,
Kwame Brown.
Let's not get into that yet, please. Let's go in order. Yeah, let's stick to this, and then we go
order bit
into the anything else? So Lakers, and what's the other game on tomorrow?
Grizzlies Spurs.
Grizzlies
Spurs. That's a toss up, I think, right?
Yeah.
You got a veteran leadership team with the Spurs, and you got a young, hungry Grizzly team. That's going to be a good battle right there. Remember back in the day, Spurs Grizzlies in the playoffs with Zebo and all those battles. Those were some good series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2 good defensive teams back in the day that, it'd be 90 to 88, which back in 10 years ago, that was a big deal.
Yeah. That's a high scoring game.
Zebo definitely a trap star.
Hey, that's my dog. Once a Nick, always a Nick.
Yeah. So that's it's funny because today I had to look at the brackets to kind of understand it because I forgot that just because you lose the 7 and 8 don't mean you're going home. It means you have to play another game to see if you're going to be in the 8th. So that kind of confused me at first. I had to relook at that today and kind of get accustomed. But it's just like soccer. If I could learn the aggregate home and away goals mean more, it's simple with the NBA. But I like it. It keeps more teams involved, man. What do we always complain about? Our teams not going after it in the playoffs because once you're in that middle ground, it really doesn't matter. The Denver Nuggets suffered it after Carmelo. They were constantly the 10th or 12th worst team in the league. Whereas they weren't making the playoffs, but they weren't getting a top 10 pick. It's like, at least teams get to compete for something.
Sounds like the Bulls
on the stretch. The Bulls. Well, Zach LaVine got hurt. They would be there. Right?
Was that Ben? No, Ben and I only said it because Ben and I were talking about this. Were you mentioning the Bears or the Bulls? Or both?
What?
We were talking about this a few days ago. How you said the Bears. Yes. Okay, maybe not a few days ago, but we've mentioned this to each other before.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the Bears.
The Bears? They suck.
Where you said they were always good enough to they'll get the 20th pick, but then they've never been bad enough to get that top 10 pick.
Yeah, it's like that purgatory stage, in between is the worst place to be.
Yeah, draft picks. And if we drafted somebody like Cedric Benson. Remember Cedric Benson?
Oh.
Or we'll trade up and then draft Mr. Trubisky. Oh, that one year we drafted Kevin White, wide receiver out of West Virginia. And he played in 4 years. I think he played 2 games for us.
Yeah.
And so it's terrible. But we've never drafted anybody of Justin Fields' caliber. I don't even want to get on that right now because I'm totally dick riding that guy right now.
Okay.
It's totally. I'm all over Justin Fields.
Wait. So do we want to run through those playoff matches real quick?
Let's do it real quick. Let's do it real quick.
I was going to say, are we considering this then the start of the playoffs? Because if we are, then I think we should give each other's picks. Yeah. And who's coming out of the East, who's coming out of the West.
Okay. Yeah. That's perfect.
All right. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
East, the Nets are coming out.
Okay.
For sure. I can't see anybody taking them. Huh? Who'd you say?
I said as.
Yeah. The Nets are coming out of the East. I can't see anybody, especially with KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. All three of them. For the first time this year, we're going to see all three of them play routinely. You know it. I'm sorry, Nick. Like, the Nets coming out. Then the West, here's my sleeper.
You're about to say,
I just your sleeper is the number one seed. Time.
Yeah, that's not really a sleeper, but I get it because actually, I don't even consider the Jazz in my scenario, so that's considered almost a sleeper.
The Jazz are slept on right now, even as the number one seed.
They've been balling since we said nobody cares about the Jazz.
Yeah, every day since. It's crazy. All right, who's next?
We're just doing the East. Oh no,
we're doing East and West. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got the Nets beating my Knicks in a 5-6 game series in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then in the West, I'm gonna go with
Yeah, I got my pick.
I'm gonna go with the Nuggets.
So you got Nets, Nuggets?
Yeah.
All right. I'll go next. I got Nets, Suns.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, but...
that's the first thing I thought about, and then I looked up some stats. Obviously, in the West, they're top 3 in points, top 3 in defense. So I didn't know that prior to picking them. I just feel like Chris Paul is just going to – he's at the end of his career. He's going to play with that urgency. And Booker, he has got that chip on his shoulder. He's been disrespected, whether it's all-star, playoffs, whatever. I feel like they're going to put it together.
This to make me excited for the playoffs, by the way.
Yeah, dude, that's what's great. Yeah. We don't have last year. Well, last year was an exception, but usually we kind of know. All right, we got these two. We got these two. One of these two are going to come out. We have 3 on each side that could legitimately come out of each conference, and that's the beauty. The NBA. I was going to say David Stern, Adam Silver's loving this because they know that New York City basketball is back. Shout out the Knicks, the Nets, and the New York Liberty.
Shout out.
Yes, sir. They're gonna have a lot of people in that building come game 1 of both home games. So Adam Silver's loving this playoff run. Who do you got for it?
I wanted to say Nets and Suns too, but since I gotta change it up a little bit. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Nets and Lakers.
I wrote these down, by the way.
I feel like that's what the NBA wants. I mean, you can't go wrong with LeBron, AD, and then that big 3 that Brooklyn got. I mean, that'll probably be the most watched finals in NBA history if that happens. Yep. So that's probably what I'm going to go with. We'll get a rematch of KD, LeBron, Kyrie against LeBron on it. So.
Because it's been a crazy season, I'm as a Nets fan going to be as humble as I can, whether it's on this podcast moving forward for the next 8 weeks and in person or in group chats. I'm going to try to because
just announced he's going into hiding until the
I'm going 0 dark 30 like LeBron because at the end of the day, it's like, dude, I want to enjoy it personally, but I don't want to take away and put all this predictions or confidence in it. I just want to enjoy every single game for what it is. So I'm going to approach it as if they're not going to win and not get to the Eastern Conference Finals, because usually most of my teams that do, it feels that much better when you didn't truly believe. A la the Giants back-to-back, like didn't know they were going to get out of the first round, but every fucking game during those 2 Giants runs felt so good because I was like, all right, they're going to lose, but I'm going to root hard for them. And then every time they just won. So I'm going to go into it, not that they're going to lose, but I'm going to have a very humble and objective opinion on things. And I'm going to enjoy it, man. It's going to be a fun NBA playoffs. I said it last week. I'll say it again. And hopefully next week when we record, we'll get some upsets, a little fun here and there. Maybe like a team goes up 1 1-0. Yeah. Sorry,
you guys
Sunday.
play Saturday,
so
right?
We'll have a few days. I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
play on
hopefully we
Sunday.
get some teams winning that we didn't think so, and just keeps the buzz going.
So
anything else?
Your picks? Who are your picks?
Mine? Oh,
Yeah.
I said Nets and Suns.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Damn, I'm dumb.
Yeah, it's all
Holy
good.
shit.
Hey, no,
Hey.
you're not dumb. You're a little drunk. That's fine.
Yeah. You know, this kind of leads me into something interesting I've always thought about. So what be wonders?
Ooh, jump right in.
I like it.
Yeah. Why is it like that in all sports across the sports spectrum, so baseball, football, basketball, there always seems to be one of the leagues or conferences that are always better than the other. So for example, basketball, the West seems to be always way far ahead than the East. Baseball, you could say many years the AL was,
Yeah, didn't they win the
much better than the NL, right?
All-Star game like 12 years in a row?
Yeah,
Right.
something like that, which doesn't prove it literally, but it gives you
fuck it.
kind of like a talent, good sample size.
Football might be a little different, but you could probably say that AFC is more competitive. Maybe not the last couple of years, but previously, probably the 10 years, than the NFC. Why is it that that seems to happen in all sports?
Osmosis.
Photosynthesis. Yeah, for sure. No, for no, in the NBA, it's crazy because the West has been this way for the last 20, 21 years. The LA, even the West Coast teams back in early 2000s that didn't win it were heavily favored, whether it was Sacramento, Portland, they had good teams. And then the 90s, I think it was East Coast, right? You would say for the NBA?
Yeah,
90s
Knicks,
was
Heat,
East Coast, obviously,
Bulls.
Knicks, Heat, all of them.
So is it
Detroit,
location?
obviously.
Is it location of the teams and where kind of the cultural nature of the players where they want to play? You know what I mean?
Yeah, shit, they could really break that down, but
I think
that's
taxes.
what I'm asking. That's what I'm trying to find out right now.
That's what
from
he
you guys.
wonders.
It depends on the sport, though, because in baseball, you have National League teams on the West Coast. Whereas in basketball, you don't have any Eastern Conference teams on the West Coast.
Right.
As far west as you're going is Chicago, probably.
Are you asking East and West or just conference and just how it's split?
Well, no. He's saying, so like the
split.
Eastern Conference sometimes is better than the Western Conference. But he's saying, is that like where players want to play?
No.
Where I don't
That's
think you
the
can
question I'm
necessarily
asking.
say
I'm
that.
wondering
No.
why.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know if we can ask that specific question because they can go to the East Coast, but they're going to play in the National League or the American League for baseball specifically.
I got you on that point. All right. Now I follow.
Well, hey, I tried, boys.
And
I was
football.
trying to figure it out, I'll
it's
think
fine.
deeply about it.
Feinberg, tweet us the answer, bro.
Feinberg,
Please,
dude, what
Feinberg,
up?
get on this, please. Elliot, link up with Feinberg, and then we'll
Elliot,
figure that
yeah.
part out.
Is Elliot Feinberg?
It is Elliot
Ooh.
Feinberg. Great question.
Hey,
You'll never know.
by the way,
Great question.
is Elliot Feinberg is like a great quote for a pod, If someone sees you wearing a t-shirt that says, "Is Elliot Feinberg?" I'm like, I don't know. Who's
It is Elliot
Feinberg? Like,
Feinberg.
You know what that
Elliot
just
him?
reminded me of? Einhorn? Finkel?
Einhorn is Finkel.
Finkel?
Einhorn?
Finkel? Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
He takes a toothpaste and puts it all over his tongue.
Dude,
Bro, he's in the
one
shower.
of the all-time greatest movies ever.
That's so good.
One
I
of the
can watch that
all-time
movie
greatest movies
anytime.
I said it last month. I was watching a movie with somebody, and I was just like, bro, like Jim Carrey's one of the actor, comedian, all time. We should celebrate him. He's so
Dude.
fucking good in what he's produced.
Who you watching a movie with?
Myself, and Irene is one
I
of the
forget what
funniest
comedy I was
movies
watching. I think it was
you'll ever see.
He's hilarious.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
a good one.
funny.
It's funny. I've seen
Dude.
that one in parts. I don't think I've watched it from start to finish though. It's like one of those
God, dude.
yeah, I gotta watch it
You
in
gotta
full. I
watch
know.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy
that came-
stinks.
Eat a
That
sandwich.
came out when I was like 12 or
Eat a
13 years old or
sandwich.
something.
Eat a
Eat a
sandwich and
sandwich.
watch that movie.
Eat a sandwich. Any
Why-
specifics on the sandwich?
Why a sandwich?
Can it
Lemon
not have
sandwich.
meat in it?
Hey,
These guys
No.
are slow.
employment, you know. Gotta watch out for my employment.
We eat sandwiches, bro.
Yeah. We eat sandwiches.
Let's see. Oh, NBA Hall of Fame.
Sandwiches.
And NBA Hall of Fame was announced. Ben Wallace,
Ooh.
Chris Bosh. Who was the other was on that? I was writing them
Chris
down
Webber.
earlier. Chris
Webber.
Webber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did want to talk about
Paul
something.
Pierce?
This.
Oh,
Paul
I gotta
Pierce.
get something off my chest. So after you're
I-
done,
I want to get something off my chest.
yeah,
Yeah, get it
Who's
off.
it
your
might be the
chest.
same thing.
Flip a coin right now. Does anybody have a coin? Flip a coin. No, I'll go first then. Did you see that Toronto Raptors superfan
Bullshit. It's bullshit.
Oh,
Spike
my
Lee
God.
should
got
have been in that
elected
bitch
to the
20
Hall
years
of
ago.
fucking fame? No,
Wait,
first
what?
of all, why
For
are we?
what?
Wait a minute. What is the NBA? What are we doing? I don't want to say the NBA. Sorry, for the Basketball Hall of Fame. We're electing fans now. We're
Bullshit.
electing fans to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Did that guy
Are you
score
kidding me?
60,000 fucking points in the paint?
That's crazy.
Yeah, what was that?
Electing fans to the Hall of Fame.
That guy deserved it, but I didn't see.
Wait,
didn't
how do you
deserve it.
deserve to
No,
go
no,
to the
no.
Hall of Fame?
He wasn't
No,
letting me
I'm-
shoot in the gym.
What I'm saying is, when I seen the post, I thought it was a thing already. So I was like, oh, he deserves it. But then I realized I was like, wait, this isn't
No.
really a thing. That's
No.
what made me rethink.
The
it.
only reason he's the ultimate fan for the Raptors is because he fortunately had the money to buy,
Which
season
is a great
tickets
come up.
courtside. Yeah,
talk.
it's fantastic. Great for you. You know, like, and you worked hard in your life. You have money and whatever, but you can't. You can't buy yourself to the Hall of Fame. You're not the Hall of Fame. If the Raptors want to elect him to their personal Hall of Fame or whatever, but if we're going to start into the actual basketball,
Seems
Hall of
like some
Fame,
WWE shit.
yeah. Oh my God.
Says everybody
By the way,
gets
I've been-
elected. Everybody goes to the Hall
Here's-
of Fame.
By the way, I've been all over WWE documentaries. By the way, lately.
Love you.
Anyway,
Hey.
Thank you.
Uh,
Yes.
if we're going to elect fans to the Hall of Fame now, what are we
Starting
doing?
fucking
Here we
Hall
go.
of
We opened up the
What do
door
we do?
already.
Here's my
They
thing.
already did it. 100%.
It's not, I don't have a problem. Obviously, we don't have a problem with the person. It's just the idea
No.
of any fan in general.
Yeah, it's gimmicky.
Why are fans in the same
very
exact Hall
gimmicky.
of Fame as the players?
How did they just
Exactly.
slide that in
These
there?
guys
That was
work their
official, by the way?
entire careers, their
Yeah.
entire lives to be called a Naismith Basketball Hall of Famer. And now there's fans in the Hall of Fame with them?
If you go
Yeah.
to Chris Bosh and be like, and he's up there at the ceremony, and then this dude is there, and they're talking, and people are coming up and congratulating Chris and Chris Webber and everybody else that made it, and then they go up to this guy and like, who are you? What did you? He's like, oh, I'm a fan. I'm like the fan of the Raptors, and I'm a Hall of Famer right now. And they're like, what
I'm
the
a Hall
fuck
of
is
Famer.
going on?
Yeah, no,
Those guys
that's
don't
wild.
fucking wing
That's
at
wild.
the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. They didn't even do a special announcement. Like if they did a press release and
Oh, it
then
would've
didn't
been-
lead off with that guy, no disrespect to him, like you said. But if you're thinking Hall of Fame fan, I'm thinking guys like the Clipper guy out in LA.
Billy
that
Crystal.
he's been a
Yeah.
no, I know. I'm just trying to think of guys that like
Jack
suffered
Nicholson.
through shit. You know,
Oh,
yeah,
Jack Nicholson,
exactly.
not Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson, yeah.
Talking about
Um,
Clipper Dave or Clipper
Yeah,
Darryl
Spike.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Clipper
Dave.
Darryl.
Like
Spike
that
Lee.
guy's been there.
Yeah.
Spike Lee, like you gotta for the Nets is Mr. Whammy. If you're a
Rick
Nets fan, you know
Ross.
that. But Rick,
Mr. Whammy.
oh, hold on, Mr. Whammy. Yeah,
Wait.
that's the Nets guy.
Yeah, I know. Old man and his wife, Mrs. Whammy.
Yeah, old man.
Yeah,
he
I
does
met
this.
them.
He does
I met them.
whenever a guy's shooting a free throw, the visitor he's like miss.
Yeah,
Dude,
real Italian shit.
He's real old too. He's
Real
a
Italian, dude.
lawyer. That's where his money
give him
came
the
from.
horns like this.
So that's fine, but if you're gonna do that, and I'm totally, I'm not even mad about super fans because I think it's great for the teams to have support by somebody like that are
Yeah.
if you're a super fan, you're with that team through the ups and downs, and so it's great for that team. But either have it individually as the team votes to win a Hall of Fame, or create a separate Hall of Fame that is different from the other
Yeah.
Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
where there's actual basketball players, but then
I'm
but
just
then
surprised
the
there's
Basketball
not
Hall
more
of
like
Fame
uproar.
It should just be the
Right,
NBA
you're
Hall
right.
of Fame and then the Basketball Hall of Fame.
That's why I asked you guys, was that confirmed that was legit?
Yeah, it's legit.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I thought because I think I seen the post from NBA, but like no press release, no like
Dude,
special
I just feel like you
announcement.
take away so much from those guys that stayed in the league longer to like get achievements or reach milestones so they can make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Why do you think Pujols is still playing baseball?
Right.
It's like Kid Rock being in the WWE Hall of Fame. It shouldn't be.
Yeah. Well, in a sense, like WWE is a joke.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah.
Kid Rock, that racist motherfucker.
Here we go.
Is in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Well,
back up. What?
Racist in WWE and Vince McMahon. I mean, that's kind of like that's not really odd.
Yeah.
But I digress.
This was another B Wonder topic I wanted to ask, but a lot of these WWE documentaries I've been watching.
Oh, they're so good.
What is your feeling on Vince McMahon as a person?
Well, he's a billionaire. Most billionaires, I'd say 90% of them, I'm going to generalize this, yes, are fucking scumbags, and they're out for themselves, and they're, arrogant, people. So it doesn't shock me. Anything that comes out doesn't shock me at the end of the day. It's how they have to get there is rip a lot of people off and be self-centered and egotistic. So I get it. It's business, whatever. There's no great human being that's a billionaire. Like it can't be. You can't. It's too opposite.
Isn't ironic that Kid Rock capitalized off black people and black culture and then now is racist? Oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, ironic. Anything left on that HBO Hall of Fame or NBA? I want to move on to other topics that we got. No.
She let me pee in her beanie.
I think Mello just got put in his kennel.
By the way, Gravy, was that topic that you were gonna bring up the same as Ben's confirmed?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was actually I was actually gonna do a tell you guys, but I figured I didn't have enough time. Top 5 fans.
Five fans. Like
top 5 fans. Like super
only
fans. Like top 5
super fans, not only fans.
Yeah. Fuck you all. Hey, I just got a text. We should shout out our waiter from tonight. Yeah. Don't know the guy's name.
That dude was legit.
Did you leave him with a sticker? Did you throw a sticker in the bath stall?
I'm sure he was taking care of.
Did you do it?
I'm only down to one sticker left, so
I got my whole pack left.
Wait, you went through all 2,000?
Yeah, all 2,000 gone.
I keep stickers in my car, at the start, outside my door right here. So wherever I go, I'm ready.
I went back home last weekend and I was passing those out.
All right, Ben, order 5,000 more, please.
Yeah, bro. We said this last time. What you doing?
Yep.
You're a penny pincher. Let's see what else. Penny pincher. Oh, I wanted to get into this topic because we thought this was kind of cool. We're in the middle of the episode, so let's get into that. What pro team would you buy to maximize your investment in the next decade in any North American sport or any sport? We brought that up. Well, we brought what?
No, we never did this.
We haven't done.
No, we did not. He sent it in a text message. He sent it in the group message. We never talked about it on here.
Clearly, you guys don't listen to the episodes.
You're crazy. Yeah, you're late.
What?
Yeah, right. I listened to him 3 times. That shows your commitment. No, I'm just kidding. Buy a pro team to maximize. Which team would you guys buy to maximize your investment in the next decade? 10 years, 10, 15 years.
I don't really have like a team per se that I could really think of, but it would definitely be a European soccer team, like one of the bigger ones for sure. Because I mean, that being like a global sport, I think more views, more people watching it than just like if it was like a baseball team or a basketball team. I'd definitely go that way. I mean, that's what LeBron did, and he's quadrupled his investment in the past few years. So I would go that route.
I would buy a Formula 1 team.
Smart.
So my first thought was going NBA or NFL. And I'm trying to look. Excuse me.
Man, why don't you clear that throat, pal?
Yeah, get it out.
I'm back. Yeah, so I was thinking of I was thinking of a team that I would buy that's really low now, like A-Rod did the Timberwolves, to maximize my value. And I'm looking at the teams right now. Detroit, Orlando, Cleveland, right? Like none of them really stand out in the NBA. New Orleans, obviously Minnesota went, Oklahoma City, maybe Oklahoma City. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go off rip. Oklahoma City, I'd buy right now. Why?
You can't even pronounce it right. You sure you want to buy that team?
That throat's still tickling. But then what? You're a dick. For the
guy's gonna walk into the middle of Chesapeake Energy Arena. He's gonna be like, "Ladies and gentlemen of Oklahoma,
first order of business, show the fucking team name.
We're just gonna be called OK.
We're now known as OKC. OKC Thunder.
Oklahoma City Thunder. I would purchase for $1 billion. They have a lot of draft picks. They have a good organization that they proved over the last 15 years. I'd buy them for sure.
I just saw they're gonna have like 2 top 7 picks this year,
dude.
Yeah,
they have 70 picks over the next 10 years. It's ridiculous in the first and second round. It's nuts.
I think of it this differently. For me, it's going to go through my heart and blood, but I would buy the Chicago Bears. And I know the question.
Very unbiased opinion,
bro. I know the question is to maximize your investment, but think of this: you buy the Chicago Bears, right? You're in a city of millions of people to a stadium that it's actually the smallest stadium in the NFL in terms of fan base, right? And then you can increase that. You're going to sell out every game, no matter what, no matter if they suck or don't suck, because you have the population there within the city and the love. If you've ever been to Chicago, I'm sure like New York and whatever, maybe not New York because you have 2 teams there, but in Chicago, if you go there, it is complete and utter Bears stuff, right? I would buy them because it's going to be a good investment no matter what. It's going to be that routine investment every year that's going to pay you your dividend. You're going to rely on it every year. It's always going to maximize your profits. It's great. The Bears.
I like it.
The Bears.
Soccer, NFL, and NBA. I think I would stay, if I'm an investor, I'd stay away from Major League Baseball because they haven't
Formula
proved that
One.
They've gotten it together. I'd try to innovate over the next 10 years.
I wouldn't go baseball. I think baseball is in now and is going to hit a struggle period in terms of attendance at games. So I think baseball is going to need to think of different ways to try to sell out and maximize attendance at games. We already know they kind of struggle with it as it is in some cities. And I think especially after this shithole year that we've had,
especially
it's going to hurt. I think it's going to hurt baseball maybe more. I think they need to do something to figure out how to get more fans, especially to game, especially because of the younger generation, like that are younger than us. To try to see how they can captivate and get that audience who's going to be the future generation that's going to go to these games. How do they get those people into the stands?
Historically, baseball's always been like a kind of promotional, try to get fans to in the seats, whether it's in the summer with summer camps, kids, they just try to play. It's very, I feel like as long as I've been paying attention to going to baseball games over the last 20 games, it's been very promotional, trying to get as many bodies in the seats, whether it's giveaways and stuff like that. But yeah, baseball, and then you go to the duration of games and all that. It's not as hip. It's not as futuristic as the other sports are becoming.
The only other thing that I could really think of, it's not really a team or anything, but if I wanted to maximize my investment, I'd probably put money into the UFC.
I was just kidding.
Right
Oh yeah.
At this point, because
smart.
That's about to blow up.
People will always love watching
UFC,
other people kill each other. That's a fact.
Yeah.
100%.
The UFC, I've always been a UFC, I'll call it liker, I've always enjoyed it, but I never really, was that into it like maybe some of my other friends or other people. But
do you feel like that's changing for you now?
Yeah, especially during the pandemic. I don't even call it fucking pandemic, especially during COVID time. The UFC to me is one of the sports leagues that really crushed that, and I think they gained a lot more fan base through it by continuing to hold
100%.
events
They've taken advantage of
They
it.
stay
I don't
strong.
know why Mandy's trying to walk in here while I'm recording, but
They did a great
fine.
job. I mean, how it was
yeah, I told
sounding
you
with
it's hot.
how the
Yeah, utilize that mute
Welcome to the
degrees.
podcast. Like, hey, let's just join it mid
unexpected
episode.
guest.
Yeah, right.
That's good.
It's crazy.
Love it.
But yeah, when there was no fans in there, you could hear how hard the punches were on TV
Yes.
and the kicks and everything. That was pretty cool. But I'm glad the fans are back. I mean, the
Me
UFC
too.
is what's up.
Yeah. Shout out Dana White. You crushed it, man. You know,
For sure.
that guy. Yeah.
Love it.
Great.
So speaking of that, fighting, I mean, I kind of jump into the Joshua Fury fight is in flux because Wilder won a case, I guess, arbitrary, where it was Fury's gloves were not properly handled or they seemed a little bit illegitimate. Did you guys, anybody read up on that article?
Yeah, I read it today.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about it a little bit, please.
No, I mean, it's just that. I mean, I don't know anything about it, but
Okay.
that's, apparently the reason Deontay was, I don't want to say protesting, or they brought up an issue with Tyson's gloves. It went to an arbitrator, and because of his ruling, that he's saying that essentially Deontay gets a rematch or a fight versus Tyson before anybody else would for that title. That's what I took from it.
Yeah, I mean, so it just says Deontay Wilder has won his arbitration case for a trilogy fight with Tyson Fury, which must take place by September. So not only did he win whatever decision it was to challenge his last fight with him, it's a direct rematch and to cause, I mean, to push back a Joshua Fury for a trilogy. And most likely in boxing, if you have a trilogy, it's every fan wants to see it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be something you're forcing. So
I do
think it'll be
totally
great.
agree, because I love boxing, and I do totally agree. I would love to see a trilogy, but I don't want to see a trilogy off some petty bullshit like that.
Yeah,
I got you.
I don't want to see a trilogy off some petty bullshit about somebody bitching about somebody's gloves maybe weren't secured.
that fight was like a
maybe
year
a
ago.
certain way. And if you watch that fight, I'm sorry, but Deontay got beat. He got beat.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted Deontay to win, but he got beat.
And the first thing he said was, which kind of makes sense if it's legit, but he said the armor
Costume
he basically
weighed him
wore,
down.
the costume he wore was weighing him down. And then by the time I understand if it was legit weighing him down, okay, that probably played a part, but it doesn't look good when you get your ass handed to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From almost start to finish. I'm
That's a
actually
terrible
watch
excuse.
that fight soon.
It's terrible excuse.
That's
And
a terrible excuse.
it sucks because I want to see both of them fight. And I also want to see the Tyson Joshua fight. Like we've been
I want it to go on for years.
Yeah, we've been waiting to see that for years. I hope it still happens. And it's annoying because you don't want to see a rematch off some petty bullshit like that, especially what happens if, Tyson takes him out again. People underestimate Tyson Fury. Like,
oh yeah,
he can box.
They really do. That guy is a straight lethal boxer.
He can move.
He can move.
my God,
he's light on his feet. He's a big
moving
boy.
at that height and weight is very rare.
His story is incredible too. He's got a good story.
It's so incredible. Yeah, it's crazy. And so, I don't know. I hope they still fight. I hope they do whatever to still fight. Or if Tyson's not going to fight Anthony Joshua, then move Deontay in, let him fight again. But I want to see Tyson Fury fight again.
Yeah, boxing has to take advantage of these three fighters right now because it's all it's got. So they have to figure out how to maximize a trilogy, then maybe a match with Joshua, and then somehow get the other one to fight the loser or the winner. So they got to keep the three for the next 5 years. They need these three to be fighting every 6 months, one or two of the three every 6 months.
Yeah, Fury is good for the sport.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Let's
Joshua's not more of a personality, but the other two are.
Let's see Tyson's brother fight too, Jake Paul.
Ooh. Yeah, dude, I seen I was on.
Tommy
I hate
Fury.
I hate when I go on Snapchat and I see some shit, but like I seen something and there's more celebrities that are. I'm not even gonna say the names because, first of all, I'll be embarrassed to even know
The
who
game?
they are. Second of all, no. Second of all, I don't want to give any more clout to these people because I get the Pauls because they've been doing it. They kind of are grandfathered in my opinion, like the first ones to do it. So anybody else after, they're not getting the name. But man, these people are really taking advantage of training, and they ran out of social media ideas and influencer ideas. So they're like, what's the new hottest thing? And that's
hey,
when I get frustrated about the boxing thing. Like,
you get frustrated too, but they're making money.
no, they are, and I whatever. I guess.
But I
mean, Americans are stupid. It's easy to fucking sell to dumbass American people.
It's true because
Including me.
I buy that shit. So.
Oh yeah, I'm not taking myself out of that. I buy some dumb shit or watch some dumb. But it's
I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw like a thing on the internet saying the game has challenged Jake and Logan Paul to fight him and his brother.
Yeah. And then Logan said you're gonna need your whole family.
Oh, dude, I would love. You know what's happening. You know what's happening. I would love to see it.
Yeah, he told them to meet him and his brother at Staples Center, and they'd fight for free. That's what Game said.
Bro,
yeah, we talk shit about him, but we're talking about him, and they know that.
Yeah,
that's what they want.
So that's why they're marketing geniuses. You know.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
right,
but fortunately for our entertainment a little bit, I guess. Did you guys, before I wanted to jump into Bet the Four, I want to bring up a couple baseball topics. That Derek Jeter documentary is coming out. I think even if you're not a kind of a love of baseball fan, I think everybody would love to see it behind the scenes or kind of in depth into Derek Jeter. He was like a Michael Jordan, played in almost in the same era. So you always fall in love with those players that you want to learn more about and never seen them on social media. Like LeBron gives it all out there, but like before the social media age, you knew not much about these players when they were going through. So I'm hyped to watch it, obviously.
Derek Jeter, a GOAT, bro. He was sending out like care packages to all his
yes,
one-night stands.
Mariah Carey, Jessica Alba.
That's some GOAT shit right there. And it was like stuff about him too.
Shout out Tom Brady because Derek Jeter apparently sold that house that time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did.
$2.5 million.
Yeah, he bought it.
Yeah. No, Derek sold it or selling it.
He sold it not to Tom Brady though, right?
No,
to Tom Brady.
No.
Okay, got you. Okay, cool. That's right.
I know we talk a lot about aliens.
God.
Is it possible that Ohtani is an alien?
Thank you. That was my second baseball point. Thank you, Greg.
He just went yard
Let's
again.
talk about it. He
did he go? Yeah.
440.
Was it opposite field?
440.
Was it opposite field? Opposite field.
Nuts.
He's pitching 100 miles an hour and hitting 100-mile-an-hour home runs. That's insane.
Dead center, and he pimped it.
Did you see he started like 5 games, but he's only 1-0? By the way.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
ESPN fucked me because they said he was in the starting lineup, so I took him out of my lineup. Assholes.
He's probably the DH.
God. No, if for some reason it pops up as like,
all right,
exclamation point, whatever.
If we're talking about Shohei, I've always, I know he's a pitcher and a batter, but do you think it would benefit him just to focus on one?
No.
Not right now. Not right now.
You don't
yes.
think so?
He's got a 3 to 5 year window. He's in year 3 of it. 5 years.
I think he's doing just fine.
Yeah, he's doing fine.
He pitches every 6th or 7th game.
I was just gonna say he's
not hitting 280.
5 days.
He's not hitting 280. He's in like 243.
I'm looking at it right now as you speak. Before this game, he's 1 for 1. He's hitting 263, 30 runs. Now 14 home runs.
Yeah, he's got the most.
And 6 stolen bases. So the guy does it all.
He's at 85 speed on MLB.
He's nuts.
Damn.
He's nuts, dude. I'm telling you, it's unreal.
He's good for the sport too. I feel like that's kind of that's what he would. What am I trying to say? That's what would bring people to watch the sport more.
Sir.
Someone doing 2-way something like that. So, if we can get more of those players, I think that would be awesome.
They got to figure out how to get him on ESPN, etc. every single day, because that man should be on every highlight. Every time they show baseball, Shohei Ohtani should be on it.
He probably will be now with Trout going to the IL.
He also has one of the dopest names in sports.
It's
Shohei
easy to pronounce.
Ohtani.
It's a
Shohei
Japanese
Ohtani.
name. It's a Japanese name that's very easy to pronounce. You say it once or twice to somebody, they could, and that's sometimes the issues with either Hispanic players or Japanese players is kind of that getting a flow if they don't have a nickname. Like Hideki Matsui was simple, but his name was Godzilla. So like that was kind of fun in that. Ichiro was a very simple one name, but like I just think they should market it. We should be almost hating him after how much they promote him after the next 6 months or 12 months. That's how much they should be.
You know what? I'm sorry.
ESPN can't do it because they're all about NFL.
Yeah, they're talking about NFL draft still.
Yeah.
Fuck the NFL right now. I'm sick of it. Okay. Tony La Russa, you probably should have just stayed your ass retired at home. Okay. You suck. It's 2021. If you haven't known yet, Ben, hold on. All right. It's 2021, pal. All right. Who gives a fuck that somebody is swinging at a 3-0 count when they are up 15-4? Okay. First of all, don't have a pitcher up there. Don't have a position player pitching if you don't like it.
What was his quote? He said something about it. I didn't hear
it was his own player. It was his own player. He wasn't he said we weren't happy that he did it. Like there's going to be consequences, blah, blah, blah.
What?
Yeah.
So Trevor Bauer, a pitcher, goes, we got to get better as a sport.
Right.
If you think it's 3-0,
he was referring to what La Russa said.
Oh.
So now I have a problem with the Twins because I just saw their pitcher got thrown out of the game because he threw behind Yerwin Mercedes.
Oh my! And he hit a single
because
RBI single on the first at bat today.
He swung at a 3-0 pitch in the 9th inning with 2 outs. And he hit a home run.
Like 360.
The guy threw the ball 45 miles per hour. I throw a ball 45 miles per hour.
That's like, you know what that's like, Gravy, to put it in perspective? Because I think in baseball, we either people that are playing the game or like old school fans lose perception on what it is. That's like being up 25, 30 points with 1 minute left and 10 seconds on the shot clock and you're wide open. You go, I'm not going to shoot. I'm going to dribble and get a shot clock violation. What does that mean? Like, what do you mean? You're wide open and you go, oh, wait, we're up 30. Nah, shot clock violation. We'll turn the ball over because we're up 30.
It's so contradicting.
I never understood that either. I hate
their whole thing is like, have respect for the game, unwritten rules. Have respect for the game and put a real fucking pitcher on the mound and play the game until the last out.
There you go.
All right, I'm sick of it.
I like it.
I would say I have respect for the game. I'm finishing the game, and I have a shot. I'm going to take the shot.
And what about in baseball? It's all about momentum and kind of flow to your season. What if you're batting 120 and you're in you're 0 for 20 and you want to get into a good groove? So you see a pitcher, it's like, I'm going to hit the ball because I'm not going to take a at bat off. Bro, that's crazy. The fact that that's even a thought, it just blows my mind. This is why baseball is in fucking trouble. All these old people need to die off in baseball. Maybe not literally, but they need to get away from the game. We need to take all the bad reporters, all these people that cover the game, take them out because they're not doing well for the sport.
Yeah. I saw that.
I agree. Go ahead, Danny.
All I was going to say was I saw that tweet and then like one of the replies to it was like, yeah, who cares if he's hitting a homer? Like he's a 28. I think he's 28. He's a rookie. So like
the guy started the season 8 for 8.
Yeah, he's trying to get another contract. He's trying to get paid. So of course he's gonna do whatever he can to do
that could be the difference between 99 RBIs and 100
exactly.
or 20. Yeah. It could be a signing bonus. Why would you ever take a play off and that bat off ever? That's what we always tell people. Never take a play off.
Two things. One, if you're a baseball player, the whole purpose of you batting is to get a pitch that you can hit and fucking hit it. If it happens on a 3-0 count, who fucking cares when it happens? You're going to try to hit the ball. Two, Do you ever think about that same concept about Ray that you just said, where we need all these old people to die off? Wait till we are that age. So we're all in our fucking 60s and 70s. Do you think the young people are going to be like, I can't wait till these motherfuckers die off so these
No.
baseball players can do, whatever they're doing at that
That's
time?
what I'm trying to train my brain now. Over the last, I would say, month or so, I've been training my brain to think more futuristic. And then as I'm trying to be open-minded to what's coming after me or before at a younger age. So like I'm working on that right now versus working on it when I'm 60. Because once I'm 60, you can't change a mind. You're not gonna be able to change anyone. I'm trying to work on it now, midway through life, hopefully a little less than, but I have to understand that things are always going to change and evolve in sports and life in every aspect. And I need to accept all of it because guess what? The people that don't are left behind, bro. Whether it's financially or mentally.
I get what you're saying, and I respect it because I do try to do the same. It kind of ties back to the whole NBA playoffs and the play-in tournament that they have now. Our first instinct is like, fuck this, we hate it. Even with baseball, we've talked about before, where you have the whole 7-inning doubleheader. The runner started on second. It's like, what the hell is going on? Our first instinct is we hate this. But the games are constantly going to evolve and change throughout the years.
At one point, the NBA didn't have a 3-pointer, bro.
I know.
Like
Can you
40
imagine
years
that?
ago. 40 years ago. Like my dad was watching it in his 30s, and they didn't have a fucking 3-pointer. Like
it's crazy. And so what happens if they make a 4-pointer? That's like
what
half
I mean.
court,
It's like,
and then us old school dudes that are in our 50s, we're sitting here talking to each other. We're like, fuck this is bullshit. But then our kids are like, oh, this is awesome. They get that 4-point play. They're going out in the backyard, hopefully not on a slanted court, and shooting those half court shots
on a slanted
driveway.
Nice. Good. Love it. Let's see what else we got on. Now we could go into it. We covered all. Let's actually, before we go into some random stuff, let's get into Bet the 4 at 4. Do you have any bets this week, or are you going to take another week off? You get too cocky over there being in the green.
No. I got a few. We kind of already went over 2 of them just because we were talking about the play-in tournament and whatnot. But I am going to take Spurs over Grizzlies. I think Popovich is gonna go in there and be like, bro, fuck's wrong with y'all? Like, we shouldn't even be here. Like, just go out there and win. Especially after Tim Duncan got into the Hall of Fame, they ain't gonna let him down. And I'm taking Lakers over Warriors. Like we were saying earlier, Game 7 pretty much can't go wrong with Bron. Baseball, taking Giants over Dodgers. That NL West is a great division, probably the best division in baseball. And it's not really a bet or anything, but Heat in 6.
Ooh, Heat in 6. I'm still writing it down. I'll do a little asterisk.
I like how he threw that in there. I like how he threw that in there nonchalantly. It's like, hey, it's not really a bet or anything, but Heat in 6.
Heat in 6, baby. Heat in 6.
Do you remember what I have your 3 picks from last week? What did you go last week? You had Knicks, Celtics that hit 1 and 2. Okay.
Yeah.
And then those
Nuggets
3,
lost
and
to
I'll
the
put
Blazers, and then Cardinals smoked it. It's all good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So let's now go into to wrap up the episode 16. Let's go into some random topics. Some of the things I wrote down
Top
was
5 deli meats.
I wrote down. It's funny because when I take notes for the pod, it's like Israel, Palestine, Biden, Wallen, Joe Rogan, Kwame Brown, Wallen, J. Cole album. So we could go into anything right before the shout outs and DMs. We'll go into
Shout out
topics.
I got Jeremy Lin just retired.
He did.
Hashtag undrafted. Former Nick. Former Nat.
I saw his tweet about it.
Former everybody.
Yeah, basically.
You know,
he made money though. He made money.
You gotta respect the man. Respect his career.
Insanity, bro.
Yeah, he would have been a factor on the Nets, but he fucking blew out his knee like game 1 of that season.
Yep.
So he would have had a great season because we were gonna put the ball in his hands. Him and D'Lo were gonna play, every other possession, go down the floor, and we didn't have anybody else because they could have put up 20 each. Shout out Jay.
He could obviously ball.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
for
can
sure.
I
100%.
actually have like a bunch of random shit, so I can like rapid fire them real quick and,
Yeah, let's
and,
do
and
it.
politely get the fuck out of the way.
Love it.
Mark Ingram's rocking number 2 for the Texans.
Saw that.
I like that. I thought that was dope. I'll save that for last. I don't know if you guys saw Migos announce Culture 3 with like the MJ letter saying we're back.
Culture 2.
Yeah.
Culture 2 is garbage.
Whew. Oh, shout out my high school, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, Parkland, Florida. Baseball team hit a walk-off for a 6-4 win to head to states. So
Sweet.
I
shout
seen
out
that
to the
video on
guys.
Twitter. That was dope.
Yep. Shout out to the Giants for signing Kelvin Benjamin's fat ass.
Gave him a
About 20
donut.
pounds.
Gave him a baker's dozen.
Nah, I love Kelvin
Yeah.
Benjamin. He won me a national championship, so that guy can weigh 400 pounds, and I'll still love him. So I'm hoping we signed him as a tight end. So hey,
Fuck
at least
it.
he'll
If
have better
it don't
hands
work
than
out,
Evan
it don't
Ingram.
cost us nothing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then Kyle Rudolph, obviously. So it's a third string at best, and if you could overachieve, we take it. Cool.
Yeah, and last, I kept it last so we could talk about it. If you guys wanted to, the Miami Marlins City Connect jerseys,
Yeah.
fire.
I like
Dope.
Pretty
those.
fresh.
Shout
Need
out
them.
Cuba.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I texted my dad about that. He still hasn't texted me back, so I don't know what the hell's wrong with that guy.
Poppy's got to get on the phone. Dog.
Well, it's so messed up, bro. Like I sent him like messages all the time, and he'll just send me back like a memoji or something. Like, bro, talk to me about that shit. Don't just send me
It's 'cause
back an
he been with
emoji.
Fort David. That's why.
Yeah, I might have
That's
to
how
cop
I text
that
my.
jersey
That's
for
how I text
mom.
my dad, and he'll send me back one word answers.
Okay,
It's
funny-
What
it's
the
funny
hell
how
is
that
an
works.
Alaska native?
Someone from Alaska.
All right, listen, I might be filling out like a health form on the
Mario
side while we're
Chalmers?
talking. And when I got to race, one of the races is Alaska native.
Yeah.
I don't know what the
I don't
fuck's
know.
going on in this country anymore.
Well, speaking of that, gas prices is real.
Yeah.
Biden. Nah, I'm just playing. I write them down just to see kind of how the podcast would flow. I don't like to get into the political shit because at the end of the day, you're not gonna win. We don't know what the fuck is going on. We're in a simulation, everybody. Nothing fucking matters.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Just live life, be happy, and do nice things. That's all that
In the-
matters. Do that, and we'll be
end,
fine.
in the end, all anybody ever cares about is just living a peaceful life, living a decent life. If they have a family, being able to take care of their family, being able to spend time with their family and friends, stop all wars, fuck all this hate, fuck it all. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, it's wild, bro.
I watched
Stop
a few
focusing
videos.
on everybody's differences and start focusing on all the things we have in common, because we have a
What you
lot
can
more in
help out
common than people than our differences. Who
Yeah.
cares what we believe in? We all have different beliefs. We all want the same thing. We want to be loved. We want to take care of our families. We want to enjoy time with our friends.
Yeah, that's
annoying.
stuff that's happening
You're
out in the Middle East. I mean, I watched a few videos, a young girl talking about it. I mean, and then a group of guys seeing their houses and homes get destroyed. Like that stuff is
terrible.
I mean, I can't imagine, that kind of stuff. My parents were able to get me out of Cuba, so I didn't really have to go through that kind of shit, but I can't imagine that kind of shit. And it's not fair.
Wow.
It's terrible.
It needs
you guys
to
see
be
that
talked
video?
about more.
Yeah,
Did you guys see the video of the guys playing basketball?
Yeah.
And the missile
I saw
siren
it.
was going off. They all just started to like lay on the ground.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
No,
it's terrible.
I really can't.
And what's crazy about that video is if you see the reaction, that's a normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a normal thing.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That's what the girl was saying. She was like, I'm
Yeah.
10 years old. She's like, my whole life, all I've ever heard is explosions since I was 1.
Yeah.
I've heard explosions.
Dude,
like that's nothing a kid should have to go through.
But that's why I was
Figured-
people in a group chat that I was in. Sorry, Ben, but we're talking about gas prices all week, and then that shit popped up, and I said back like it was first thing in the morning. I woke up to, and I was like, "We're all talking about gas prices, X, Y, and Z," and it's like, what are we really talking about? These people and that's after I seen little kids talking about war and all they have, and I'm just like, it humbles you. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, let's stop. Like, yeah, it's cool to complain and vent, but know when to do it.
Yeah.
That's all I'll
Dude,
say
I have
about
this
that.
sticker on my fridge that it's a simple phrase, but it's deeper. But it, you know, basically says we need to stop building so many walls and build more bridges. And you can take it for a deeper level in terms of what it means, but we totally need to do that as an entire world society. We think too singularly in terms of these spaces, like we're this country and that country and this country and that country. We're all on the same goddamn planet together. We're all same humans. It doesn't matter what we believe in. We all have different beliefs. Even within walk down your neighborhoods, every single person has a different belief, but they all want the same things. Life is kind of simple. Stop all this bullshit. I hate it.
The world is too big for that simple. It's so simple and simplistic, and the world is too big for that. So at the end of the day, all we could do is control the controllables, like a good buddy of mine once said.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But hey, gas prices, you know, I'm done. I'm going electric.
I got I got an electric golf cart. I'll live. I'm fine. I can get from.
Is that electric?
Yeah, it is electric. So is my lawnmower. We don't believe in gas. Next car I'll get, hopefully, will be electric.
I don't want to name the two cars you have. We don't believe in gas.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, let's keep that off record. Kwame Brown, what the fuck?
Dude.
Is people just coming out? Is people just coming out making videos? They just sit there bored in their $1 million mansion or whatever and just be like, damn, nobody's heard about me for like 10 years. And then someone mentions them on SportsCenter. Boom, I got to make a video. Like, what is going on?
I don't know.
You guys know who Andrew Schultz is, the comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see him tweet after the video Kwame posted today? And he's like, yo, where can I get a Kwame Brown jersey?
That's funny. I saw a tweet about it. It was like, it was when he was with the Lakers and Kobe screaming at him. And then when he was with the Wizards, Michael screaming at him. And they were like, you're going to go against a man that's been through this? Good luck.
Yo, that's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know what Matt Barnes said or whatnot, but I did watch the Kwame Brown video. And I mean, he had some bars on that shit. I was cracking up. I was like,
but he also went for too long. I watched one video where if it ended after 30 seconds, it would have been like, oh shit. But then he went on for like 140, and I was like, the other minute and plus was just like rambling. So like, yeah, I mean, it's easy nowadays to get relevant.
Go give D-Fish some gas money. You got to pick up your kids.
To me, it's all maybe it's all set up. And this is like the kickoff and intro and marketing ploy for Kwame Brown to then announce in a couple of weeks his new podcast.
Yeah.
Right. You know,
or he might be all about Matt Barnes podcast.
People, yeah. Right. Yes. First guest, Matt Barnes. Yeah. Oh shit. I don't know. I mean, I find it super hilarious. I think it's so funny. I wish we could get more in-depth insight into it. I wish we could hear other sides to it. I know we're probably gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I heard Matt Barnes' side, and I guess like the good thing about, I guess, like having their own podcast and it being like a Showtime production and all that is he said like he went back to his people and was like, hey, can you guys look? Like, did I say anything? Like, what did I do? And apparently they said on an episode, I guess something was said about Kwame Brown and he tapped Steven Jackson's knee. So he's like, dude, I don't know if that's what you're referring to.
People sensitive.
He's like, but Matt Barnes said he hit, like when it first started, he hit Kwame Brown up on Instagram, like DM'd him. He's like, I DM'd you like a man to talk about it. He's like, but you chose to ignore me, and then you come out and say this shit.
So we got to start teaching our friends and family, sticks and stones won't break my bones. We got to start talking like this. Shit is way too like you mentioned somebody like,
I agree.
Oh, Gravy back in the day in elementary school, he was getting blocked every shot, and then Gravy comes out wilding at me like, yo, you a bitch, you a hoe. Like, what? What's going on, bro? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's where we're at in social media and all these podcasts.
Oh,
it's
dude.
Like there's some good information out there, and there's some great. It's just like TV. We used to watch 6 o'clock Sports Center back in the day with Dan Patrick, and it used to be the shit. Now it's like obviously it got convoluted with more media streams, more channels. Now it's don't start. And now it's podcasts, and podcasts have I seen a news article. Podcast is taken away from like late night television, like Jimmy Fallon's and all that. And it makes sense because at the end of the day, you gotta, hey, if shit ain't working, you gotta evolve. Like we said, you gotta change, and if you're not, you get left behind. But it's just crazy how
real conversation.
Yeah, but what happens is when things get popular, they get watered down, diluted, and then it becomes the quality leaves, and then we have to go to another platform, and that's I feel like what podcast is about to be. Yeah, our podcast, listen to our podcast, watch and support, but everybody's got a podcast nowadays.
Dude, we
just watch us and support us.
About the Joe Budden beef.
I don't.
Joe Budden's
inform me, please. Inform me, please.
This guy.
I don't know about that.
This guy. I mean, I don't know. Seems shady as hell.
Yeah, I'm Team Rory and Mal. Those are my guys, bro. Like that's a big reason of why I listened to that podcast was them, and just I like their perspectives.
They're for sure starting their own podcast. For sure.
I hope they do. But that's the thing. Like podcasting isn't everything to them. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do one.
And how I understand the whole beef, I mean, it seems legit on their end, and Joe's reaction to it is nothing but shady.
Yeah.
That's nothing but somebody who's hiding something, in my opinion.
And that's why, you notice I read this somewhere, he hasn't sued them. And that's because if he sues them, he's got to show the money. So
it's like Donald Trump. Show me your taxes.
Yeah. I don't like the situation. It looks fishy.
Yeah.
Before we get into some
top 5
shout outs and DMs, J. Cole album, certified.
Certified.
All say.
Certified.
Hall of Fame. Okay, cool. Instant classic.
Certified. 1, I think it's one of his best albums he's made. 2, I think he's definitely one of the top 5. I'm saying this right now. I think he's one of the top 5 rappers ever.
It's a hot take.
By the way, we try to show love for other podcasts, but the Etceteras with KD, they interview J. Cole, and he caught himself 3 different times while answering their question. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm ranting right now. Like J. Cole answers questions for like 10, 15 minutes and it's good. It's raw. Like he catches himself relating to KD so much that he wanted to express. And I've never seen J. Cole express himself.
But if Kanye did that, he's crazy and he rambles.
No, first of all, I love me. I love when Kanye does that. More rambling Kanye is for me because I take out the parts that I need, and then I don't listen to the other ones.
I think it's this. I think in a way too, it's like we've talked about it before. Just like Elon, these are different types of people, and so they communicate differently in their own way. And people might not. They react differently to them because they're completely, eccentric and they don't know how to kind of communicate. So I do the same thing as you, Ray. I kind of pick pieces out of that. I'm like, this is what he's trying to say. He just can't say it in a way. This is the way that this man has to say it.
But their mind is working too fast.
Way
for
too fast.
Whatever they're trying to come out and say. That's
what he's clearly a genius in the art that he makes. I mean, you can't deny that his musical ability. If we started to break down every musician or any kind of artist that's ever lived, and we started to really deep dive into their personal lives, or anybody, you're going to find demons or things that you might not like about them.
And that's what makes them great.
Right. And so it makes them great, but it's also,
great is who they are.
We like that.
They're normal.
We like Kanye, or we like these people for the art that they're giving us.
Yeah.
Because they might, have some sort of belief or think some other way, doesn't take away from their art. We have to separate those things. In my
100%. And I blame the viewer that tries to criticize someone that doesn't sound the way they want. Meanwhile, they love what they produce or create, but at the end of the day, everybody's human. Nobody knows how to answer questions in a certain way. And like Ford said, the genius, they sometimes can't interpret their thoughts and what they want to relay it to the question. And that's why sometimes a 5-minute answer for Kanye is like, I got mine in the first 30, and everything else is like just going off on some other shit.
Speaking of Kanye, that Kodak Black album was fire.
I didn't listen.
Yeah. He snapped.
Nah, just one song. He only has one song I fuck with. That's it. Ben likes it.
You guys are trying to get me to say it again, but I said it already. I said it like 30 minutes ago.
What is your review?
I must have missed it.
What is your review on this album?
Yeah, give it to us.
Me?
Yeah.
Which one?
The Kodak Black one.
Kodak.
I listened to like 6 songs of it. I mean,
I think it's only 6 songs.
Huh?
I think it's only 6 songs.
Well, maybe that. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple good songs. I mean, I'm not that big of a Kodak fan, to be honest with you. I don't know.
It's a Broward thing.
Broward.
South Florida thing.
He's cool.
Any lyrics that stood out to you?
Any bars?
I dropped it earlier, but
yeah,
when he goes, you have to say it in his voice. She let me pee in her beehole.
That's a bar.
I texted my wife, and I'm like, "This shit's hilarious."
So let's get into some shout. So shout outs on my end. Happy birthday, Itis. His birthday was on Monday or Sunday.
Happy birthday, Itis.
Big fan of the pod. Listens every single week. Got some feedback from him very early on in the beginning stage. Happy birthday, Jilly. Is that how you pronounce it?
I mean, Jillian. I don't call her Jilly.
Yeah, Jillian.
Yeah,
all right,
sure.
cool. That's her Instagram. So happy birthday. Big fan. And then, I shot 96 this weekend, career high. Previous high 97, 96. Big fucking deal. Let's go.
Nice.
And then shout out to my mom on the 20th.
Shout out, Mom.
2 days on
Shout
Thursday.
Out,
she's
gonna
getting
be 20 in 2 days.
She's getting a brand new, aka me.
Okay.
So that girl's gonna be moving.
Nice.
That girl's gonna be moving different, very quick.
Yeah, having that new
Tesla kneecap.
Gonna be able to plant her foot and move left and right laterally.
Same
like
mom,
that. So she
sprints.
definitely needs a new.
She should stash some Bitcoin in her fake kneecap.
Yeah.
Any shout outs on your guys' end?
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out Kalen Jones, man. CVG Jones, my guy, listening to us on the road every week, multiple times, texting me nonstop about his takes. Last week he had an issue with you, Nick. This man is just trying to.
He had an issue with me?
But just that LeBron was in your top 5 point guards.
I mean, did you not see the pass he made the other night? I mean, I think he's in the top 5 point guards, buddy. I don't know what you've been watching.
He texted me and he was like, "Come on, what's going on?" And I just love that. I love that. Shout out all our friends that listen and support us. We really appreciate it. Really, honestly, we do this for you. And so
I don't do that for
you
them.
Listen.
I don't do that for them.
And we really appreciate that you guys listen every week and give us feedback. And then what else? What else I got to shout out? Shout out my baby that's coming in 3 months. I wish you hurry the fuck up. Wait, not early. I want you to be on time, but I wish time would go faster because I'm tired of waiting and dealing with the pregnancy stuff. It just ready to get it over with.
Yeah.
I love it.
Take your time, but hurry up.
I got 2 shout outs. One shout out Charles Oliveira, great story, UFC champion, came back from getting knocked down and just went up to
that was crazy.
Joe Rogan and was like surprise, and was talking that shit as he should. Great story, like I said. And then shout out Haitian Flag Day. Shout out all my those.
Shout out Steve Don't Miss. Shout out my boy Reggie.
What about you, Greg? You got anybody before we wrap up?
No, I was just gonna say shout out Steve Don't Miss. Shout out Reggie. My boy Fresco Fly in the house. That's about it. I don't like anybody else. So
I have a question though.
Go ahead.
What does Kodak mean when he's saying the Z look Jamaican?
I'm not Jamaican, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble and start breaking down lyrics on this because I might expose myself to what I know.
Not gonna. I have no idea.
All right.
All right.
That Z shit.
Episode
Z shit.
Yeah.
Is that Z shit? Is that Z shit?
Shoot them in
Episode
Peter Beehole.
16. Sweet 16. We appreciate you guys listening and watching. Watch us on YouTube. Listen to wherever you find your podcasts. And that's it.
Heat
Peace.
6.
Peace and love.
Nipples.
Movies.